Hey guys, this is Hell Hades, and this is another Raid Shadow Legends video. So I'm just going to do a guide on this good man, Apothecary. So he is probably up there as top 3 rares in the game. It may even be top 1 rare, because he's probably the rare that people will use for the majority of the game and can use it in a lot of content. I constantly do takeover videos and I'm putting him in teams for all sorts of dungeons. He's in early game clan boss teams, he's in late game clan boss teams, he can be in arena teams. He really fits the game all over the place. So let's just talk about his kind of base stats initially. So he's actually got a very nice base HP, base defense and base speed for a rare. The speed is excellent actually, and the defense is really good for a rare. So what it means is you can build up some good levels of stats with relatively average to good gear. So the way, before I go into his gear, let's just talk about his skills and why he's so good. So this is one of the reasons why he's so good for clan boss. He's got a free hit A1. Now it's good for clan boss because there's only one target and it hits at random. So for clan boss you can hit 3 times, you've got 3 chances to hit that giant slayer proc, which means he can also do a decent amount of damage with this A1. He's got an A2, which when booked becomes a 2-turn cooldown target heal. So it heals one person, one ally by 35% of their HP, but it also can be a crit heal, which basically just chunks a load of heal, almost pretty much will cap someone up. So this is really nice. This is a good ability, obviously scales with a bit here. And the other kind of real big piece for him, so he puts on an increased speed, so a 30% increased speed buff on allies for 2 turns, and he fills the turn meter of all allies by 15%. So really good ability here as well. And again, that can be on a 3-turn cooldown, so actually you can get that rolling pretty quickly, and you're constantly kind of buffing people's speed and keeping this speed buff on all the time if you're getting fast enough. So in terms of aura, he's got a dungeon aura as well, increased allied defense, which is a brilliant aura. So this is good for all of the dungeon content if you haven't got anyone better. So all in all, his kit is just excellent for a rare. In terms of the way you want to build him for Masteries, providing you're using him in any sort of endgame content or close to endgame content or just clan boss, you basically want to do this build. So you want to do the build which is kind of focused on clan boss. So actually, I've actually not got this right. Wow. I've built this Apothecary right at the start of my gameplay. I've never changed him, and I don't even have him set up right. So that is embarrassing. Let's just quickly change him. So we want to go crit rate always into crit damage down here. Now he's going to be one of our giant slayer guys. So you probably want to come across here. This helps in different areas of the game into giant slayer. That's the way it should roll. You do want this side of the tree, so you want to go HP. We don't need accuracy on him at all. None of his abilities need accuracy. We do want to improve the values of his heals. We do want to try and get turn meter benefit when he buffs, and we do want to get benefit from the book. So that's the kind of natural cycle that we need. If we're using him in spiders and other content, we want this. That's a good ability for him. And you probably would want to go for increased healing from this as well. Now this isn't an amazing ability, but it just enables you to come here, but I'd already used it, so that was a waste. God, I'm doing a terrible build here. I think you just want to do this ability here as well, so increased damage when attacking with full HP, which is good for clan boss. It's better than it was. I've not done it totally perfectly there, but it's not far off. So that's his Masteries. In terms of his sets, so pretty much what you want to do is you just want to put fast gear on him. So all speed gear if you can do it. You want speed on his banner. Speed, ideally you have defense on the banner. I don't know if I've got a defense one here actually, have I? Don't want attack, you want defense or you want HP. If you don't have defense or HP, then you want resistance. So I'm going to leave resistance on him. If there was a defense one there with some speed rolls, I would have taken that instead. You want HP or defense on his amulet, ideally defense. I don't have any rolled up, but ideally you'd have defense on the amulet to build this defense up some more, and defense on the ring. So you kind of want to go defense, defense, defense is the ideal. That way it gives you much more survivability, but you do want speed on this amulet. You then want as fast a speed boots as you've got. You want defense chest or HP chest, preferably defense with speed on it. You want HP, defense or crit rate gloves. Preference is actually defense, believe it or not. Crit rate are good as well to get crit heals off, but I would still choose defense over crit rate gloves, unless you get some great rolls. The reason why I got these ones on, HP, got some crit rate and defense on them, so very good gloves for him. And then, as I said, just kind of stuff with speed on it up the top. Ideally with some sort of HP rolls or defense rolls as well. So you just kind of want him tanky and fast. Tanky and fast, that's it. You actually don't need anything else. Crit rate is useful to have if you want him to be your main healer, but tanky and fast is your ideal setup for him. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you how to use him in different areas of the game. Let's start, I think, with Arena. So what we're going to do here is we're going to run a speed team. What should we do? Let's try someone who hasn't got a speed lead, so you can see how this rocks. So we have a speed team, so we have Arbiter as my speed lead. You can have any speed lead in here. Apothecary then speeds up again, so you have speed lead into speed champ, into debuffer, who's going to be my Madame Cerise, and then into somebody who is going to nuke the enemy team. So for me, I've got a good nuker in Skull Crown, so she'll probably do. There's tons that you could have, but she's good for me. I could also have her as my speed lead in here. Maybe I'll do it that way actually. So speed lead now becomes her into this speed merchant. She does the debuffs. The trouble is I'm probably, in all this speeding up, I'm probably just going to get frozen by this fella. Which is very likely to happen. She's got immunity gear on anyway, so she's going to be fine. Just trying to think of somebody that can go that's not going to be frozen on my team. Maybe this guy. Is he going to kill people? Probably not. Let's try it. He's definitely not going to be frozen because he is immune to freeze. Let's try this guy. This could be an epic fail, but we like to try things. So, see, I'm the fastest by quite a way. Speed up my team. Nobody's frozen, that's great. Put the debuffs up. Decrease defense all around. Throw up the slam and block buffs. And then, basically, we're then going to my nuker, who's her. She comes in with the nukes, and good night, enemy team. So this guy's obviously super tank. Gonna need a few more slaps. If he's only hitting for 5k and he is tanked up, he is strong. Get the speed going again. Keep going on this guy. He's the only threat now. He's not even a threat actually, he's just an annoyance. This guy's already died once. Don't know if you saw that. He's already kind of popped his death one time. So this will be the end of him actually once we get this down. Let's keep my Skull Crown alive because she's my damage. Get rid of those buffs again, and hopefully this should see him off. And there we go. So that's the kind of setup of a speed team. Apothecary becomes the speed buffer, but you have somebody in a speed lead position to help Apothecary get his go. So that's an idea of how the arena works. Let's get into some dungeons. So he's really good in dungeons. He's really good in pretty much all of them, actually. So he can be your support in a Spider 20 run. So if you want to do a run which is kind of based on an HP burner, I've got Ignatius as mine. He can be the support character that is just kind of helping you along. So when you have an HP burner, basically what you want to do is just protect the team and let HP burn do the damage. So you have someone like him, you have somebody like a freeze champion. For me, I've got a really good one in this guy. All Apothecary is here for is speed and support. So you can then have somebody like a, what else do we want? Ally protection sort of champion. So if you had a miscreated monster, he's brilliant for this. And you basically want people then to reduce turn meter. So maybe we do this. Let's try this. So it should be fairly quick. I know I've got a couple of legendaries in here, but you'll see kind of what Apothecary is here for. So it's that speed boost. This guy's then doing his thing. We should then have HP burn come on. Now the HP burn is going to do a ton of damage. Look at all that damage it's doing. Heartseekers start to rain in. Spiderlings haven't even moved yet because they've had freeze on them. Ton more damage coming in from these spiderlings not moving. And we're already at, what's that? A third of the HP left. So it's then about kind of rotation of abilities, which is why you need Apothecary in a team like this, because he keeps your speed up. Speed and heal, that's all he's there for. So Spider sucks in once. We've lost our 2 Heartseeker abilities, but that's fine, so we're going to get the rotation on the abilities of these guys now. Because we've got the turn meter always coming through. Freeze comes on. We should get a speed up here. And I think we get our HP burn back now. Which, oh no, next turn. But the next time we get HP burn, we basically finish the job. So Apothecary is super relevant right through to endgame. With any dungeon, it's all about team composition. Apothecary creates a really good sort of team setup. Often when I do takeover videos, Apothecary is in that kind of takeover. He's always in my mind as someone that should be going into a team setup. But here you go, under 2 minutes, easy as you like. And you can kind of replace someone like a Gurgo, you can replace with somebody that does any sort of control. So turn meter reduction, AoE, freeze, stun, that can be replaced. Equally, you can kind of pull these guys out and do different compositions. That's one version of taking out the spider, where all your damage comes from burns. So that is him in spiders, really effective. Let's show him in dragons. So dragons, again, affinity is good for him, it's fine. So we've got a team that I was showing the other day where I was kind of getting some value out of Valor. I think I can sub in. I need some sort of poisoner. I think I'm going to put in Kale. Yeah, I think this team works actually. So I've got AoE, decreased defense, speed, cleanse, poison, control. So Apothecary is really important in this setup. It just keeps my team going before they get a chance to go. I've also got on his A1 that Evil Eye, which means that he reduces turn meter when he hits somebody. It's just so good for dungeons. You see here, he's constantly keeping my speed up. They're not getting a go. And it basically just enables me to get through these waves, which are probably the hardest part of the dungeon, I think. Get through the waves, then, you know, the dragons are quite a simple fight, but actually getting through the waves is not as easy as you think. Certainly not when you get to sort of dragon 20s or, you know, 17 plus, I'd say it starts getting really hard. So this isn't a quick team, it's not built for a quick team. I'm trying to show you probably a more realistic team than what I've just shown you in spiders. You'll see I've constantly got that speed buff on. He's also good if you've got someone like a Seer, he brings another buff. Mostly in Mage, Apothecary and Seer together are also really good. You're giving Seer loads of buffs to rip off. Dispeller built in stun gear, so he's just kind of stunning up the enemies. If you've seen my recent Dragon Guide, you'll know all about this type of setup, what I've got going here. It's really worth a look if you haven't seen it yet. So we get through the waves easy enough. And then basically, I'm not going to show the whole video, so it's probably a bit dull, but once you get to the dragon, basically Kale then steps in and does all of the work through poisons. So he becomes your poisoner, and the waves we're through in just under 2 minutes. And I imagine the dragon's going to be dead in about 3 minutes. Maybe I will show it actually. Skip forward if you're bored of it, but I'll show it just so you get a feel for what goes on. Kale's constantly landing poisons here. We've got decreased defense, decreased attack on, so we're not going to be taking too many hits. We get past this purple bar because of the poisons. Morsian Mage keeps us well buffed up and out of trouble. He's also got a cleanse to get rid of all those poisons on us. And then pretty much all of this damage now is coming from poisons. Or a good chunk of it anyway. This A1 for Apothecary means that we get 3 chances of a Giant Slayer proc every time he does an A1. So he's still getting some value in damage out of Apothecary on boss fights. And to do Dragon 20 in around 3 minutes with 3 rares, 2 epics. I've got good gear on these guys, but not insane gear. It's not like it's ridiculous gear here. I've got reasonable gear. None of these guys are geared to do crazy damage. The damage is all coming from this poison now. See that? Another Giant Slayer proc there. Poisons go on. That's going to get us down to about here in damage. Now the next time the dragon has a turn, he'll be dead. Because these poisons will just tick away. Morsian Mage keeps us healthy. Just quite a nice team comp, but it wouldn't run like this if it didn't have Apothecary keeping them going in terms of speed. That's Dragon. Rubbish gloves in the bin. We then go on to, let's do Ice Golems. So again, just a useful champion to have an Ice Golems. Get some of these legendaries out. So he can be your lead, gives you increased defense in a dungeon as a lead. We want somebody to place poisons. Good affinity. We want to be able to deal with the waves. Maybe we just do this. A pretty similar team to what we've just done. Is he going to be able to survive? The only thing we've got is a negative affinity mage, Morsian Mage. I think I've got enough protection in here to deal with it. Let's see. So you'll see here, decreased defense goes on, same as we've just seen for the other wave control. Stuns on 4 of them from Bellower there. It's really nice. This gives me loads of control. Apothecary is keeping us quick. And really, we've got no issues on wave 1. Pharaoh's pretty well geared in lifesteal gear, so he's just kind of chunking through people. Bellower's keeping him in check. That's wave 1 down, 35 seconds. We're just keeping turn meter under control as well. Decreased speed from Bellower. Another form of control. Bellower's great for control actually. Got to be careful here in case we start killing our own team, which is pretty likely. This debuff or this buff they put on themselves is actually brutal at this level. Normally I've got an Ultan in here to pick people up that decide to kill themselves. So that is close. Oh, everyone's nearly dying. Don't die, people. Don't die. I'm making a video. Oh, Bellower. What you up to? So we're going to get through to the boss with just 4 men standing. Is it going to be enough? I think it probably is. So 1 minute 20 to this stage. You see, he just keeps people topped off. What I'm going to do, I'm going to cut the video here. This will be a long fight. It's probably a 5-minute fight. So I'm just going to cut out here and show you the final stage of it. So here we go. We're 6 minutes in. It's a long fight, but we got through it. And yeah, it's probably not good enough. Yeah, so not bad. Poisons do well against this boss. Apothecary does well to keep people alive. Even though we lost Bellower during the mobs, we've still done well. So that is decent. We're done, what, 1, 2, 3. Let's get on to Fire Knights. So again, Fire Knights is it's probably the toughest of the dungeons, I'd say. It's also a negative affinity for Apothecary. So perhaps I'll show you, instead of 20, I'll show you 18. Just to keep the affinity good. 18 is green, so let's take out this fella, put this fella in. Who's going to pick? Who's going to pick? So just looking really for finites, what you want is multi-hits A1. That's the first thing. You want somebody that's going to keep your team alive. You want somebody that's going to give you heal reduction on the main boss. And you do want to be able to clear the actual mobs, the actual waves of people. If you can get a lure to the main boss, then she's actually completely OP against the main boss, which is quite difficult to get there, I'd say. Maybe we get a bit of use out of Vala. I've not seen her against Finite yet. She can help us against the waves. I keep Arbiter in there for reses and speed. Speed from Apothecary and heals. So let's try this. I'll run it full auto. As you can see, the idea is you kind of just want to nuke down the waves as best you can and as quickly as you can. Having someone with decreased defense definitely helps you with that. The main thing what we're trying to do here is actually just get these cold hearts through to the boss. That's the hardest thing to do, is to get your damage dealers to actually get to the boss. In Finite, once you're on the boss, if you can get a cold heart to the boss and you've got some sort of healers, then they pretty much do the work from there. There's another tactic which, if you've got really good high-end poisoners and somebody like a Xavier, then she can come in and do she basically just wrecks this map. Don't have her, I'd like to have her, but I do have Elenaral, who I'd like to get myself leveled up and give her some try. But that's kind of wave 1. It's a bit of a rinse and repeat for wave 2. I'm kind of waiting for Vala to do a decreased defense across her AoE decreased defense, because that will give me the benefit of some of these hits hitting a lot harder. But you're really just trying to take down 1 or 2 mobs as early as possible so that your team is not in trouble. Everybody that I've got spec'd up here has got a reasonable amount of defense. Defense and HP just help you on any of this endgame stuff. My Arbiter is defensed up. Both of my cold hearts have got kind of HP chests or defense rings and stuff like that. They're not built full out damage, but they have got high crit damage. So their attack is very low, their crit rate and crit damage is good, which means that their Heartseekers still hit really hard. Definitely against you'll see it when you come against the actual main boss. They hit really hard at that stage. But I think we're going to get through to the main boss after about 2 minutes. Yeah. And at this stage, you then just want these A1s to hit to reduce that shield. So I don't really want them doing this A2 stuff. I want them to reduce the shield and then start doing their abilities after that. Because the main thing which I want is this heal reduction. You see that heal reduction's just gone on? That now stops this energy bar coming back. I've got enough HP to survive that hit. I don't want those Heartseekers landing like that. I want it to land when the shield's gone, but it's all RNG at this stage. If I was manual in it, then that wouldn't happen. But manual is not the name of the game if you're trying to get through missions and stuff. Heartseeker there, see, drops a turn meter, gives me my full kind of turns now to do some damage. Ideally, I don't get the Heartseeker until this decreased defense is on as well, so it does tons more damage. But because I've got 2 speed freaks in here, I do get my Heartseekers back quite quickly. There it is again. So at this stage now, I'm outdoing the boss. He can't get his turn meter back. And that should be game over. Bang, 3 minutes. So that is, oh, nice. Take that. So that is how Apothecary works here. He basically becomes the speed and the heal. Same as the other dungeons really. As long as you've got the team to back it up, then he is solid. So that's all of the dungeons. I'm going to show you, lastly, the clan boss. So a lot of people have asked me, what do you do endgame if you do not have a counter-attacker? So I've done my damage on Ultra already. So if I do a hit on Nightmare, so what we're going to do, take out my normal team. I'm going to not put my counter-attacker in. I'm going to go, I want my Arbiter in, I want my Apothecary in, I still need a decreased defense, decreased attack. So I'm going to leave Oltan in, or should I put Jareg in? I'm going to try and make it less. No, I'm going to put a good team in still. So I'm going to go Oltan. I'm going to go Razin for weaken and which I don't need. No, I don't need that. Sorry. I'm going to go Tyrell. He's got decreased attack, decreased defense. Arbiter has got weaken and speed ups. Speed ups from Apothecary. My poisoner is going to be Nephril. Oh my god, I've got to try and find him again. Where was he? There he is. And then I'm going to have my Bad L in as a healer because I don't have these guys all in lifesteal sets. I'm not going to change everybody's set just to make this happen. So the only negative affinity I've got is Bad L. But you'll see here, so my poison comes from here. Decreased defense, decreased attack, weaken, speed, speed, heals, heals, heals. 2 lots of poison. Let's roll it. Going to roll it full auto. You'll just kind of see that, hopefully you'll see that it's still possible to get some decent damage off. A lot of the damage is going to come from me doing my A1s with these guys and from poison. So you've got a 3 hit A1 from Apothecary, 3 hit A1 from Nephril, 2 hit with Tyrell, 1 hit with Bad L, 2 hit with my Arbiter. All of them are built tanky, so all of them have got lots of defense, lots of HP, and they've got enough accuracy to make sure they're landing their poisons and stuff like that. In this sort of setup, you don't want to speed tune, you want to outrun the clan boss. So all of these guys are built to go fast, and yeah, even people like my Nephril is well over 200 speed. What I do need though is I still need Tyrell to be landing his A1s. So I do need this decreased attack on as much as possible. In a counter-attack team, that's really easy to achieve because you're making him counter-attack first. But when you're in this kind of speed comp, it's much more difficult to do, especially when you're autoing. If I was manualing, it'd be quite easy to do. But he's obviously he's not just using his A1, he's using all sorts of abilities. What I'm going to do is, it's a long fight obviously, I'm going to cut here and we'll bring it back on towards the end. So this is pretty much coming to an end, only 6-minute run. Basically my Tyrell is not prioritising getting this decreased attack on throughout the fight, which means that often I'm getting this kind of slam. So perhaps I need another decreased attacker in there. But we've done 18 million damage first run. That's without any sort of without any counter attack or anything. I'm going to run the fight again, but I'm going to manual parts of the fight and see how we do there. So same idea, same team, just done a manual part of it as well. So I'll let you know what the result is on this one. So I was still going, I actually killed the boss off there. I was at 19 million, killed the boss off. I probably would have done, I don't know, maybe another 4 or 5 million on manual. So manual is massively different on this setup. So I didn't mean to kill the boss. So there you go. So basically, yeah, what you need for a speed setup is a good poisoner. You need ideally 1 or 2 speed boosts, and Apothecary can be one of those. And you can still get effective kind of 2 keys on something like Nightmare. So yeah, I think that's probably going to be it for my guide for Apothecary. It's really useful. If I was to rate him here, probably should just rate him. I think Clan Boss is top of the ladder for a rare. Fire Knight's really effective. Arena Offense, very effective. Campaign, middle of the road. He can help be a support function. Minotaur, he's good. Arena Defense, he's good. Probably a 4. Dragon's Lair, he's good. Spiders, I think he's much better than the stat says here. Much better. Ice Golems, so he's probably a 4. And then the Keeps, because it's general utility, I think he just does well anywhere. As long as you build him to survive and you build him fast, he can be good anywhere in this game. So that's Apothecary. If you've got him, build him up. He's going to be one of your best champions, certainly through the middle to end game. Really good champion. It's been Hell Hades, and that's my Apothecary guide. Catch you soon.